Hello, friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, August 17th, and it is a beautiful, hot, but beautiful day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. It's good to be back. Good to be back. I know I did that Wednesday video, talked about some things, showed you the pipe I'm going to be smoking today, but I'm still going to talk about it. And yeah, but it's just good to kind of get back in the routine and hopefully be able to keep this routine going for a while because all these trips and everything have been, eh, Mike likes his routines. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so today I want to talk about two things. First is this pipe. This pipe is it's a little apple. It is, it quickly is becoming one of my favorite pipes. This is a Tim West, Old West. So what Tim does is he uses, I believe, uses pre-phrased stummels, pre-made stems, but he does do all the finish work. He plays with the internals, make sure that they're working nice. So you're getting a pipe that's somewhere between a high-end artisan pipe, like one of his Tim West pipes, and a factory pipe. It's somewhere between those. This is the second one of his that I have, second one of the Old West, and my goodness, this thing felt like it was broken in after three smokes. The pre-phrased stummels really are wonderful pipes because you've got briar that's been aging for years and years, and I just think that does something to it. Um, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but these Old West pipes just break in so well and they smoke beautifully. Now, I'm probably going to fuss with this a little bit because he had to make 20 of these for the pipe show. This is the pipe that was used in the slow smoke competition. I believe he made 20 in case there was any problems with any of them. They had extras to swap in because there were only 15 contestants. Um, and I may be wrong about 20. I think Andre said 20. Anyway, uh, yeah, so it's not. I'm going to play with the funneling of the airway a little bit and stuff like that. But the other one that I have, I haven't done anything to, and I'm very, very happy with it. So beautifully finished. He does all the finish, and he's got that sort of old style approach to things. A little bit of rustication there. They all had that, so I think that was intentional. I don't think that's hiding a flaw or anything. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see the stamping on this, but let's see. So that's NASPC. So that was for the pipe show, the North American Society of Pipe Collectors. And we'll focus again. And what you got there is, I think it says Old West and the Briar, and there's a 25 there for the year. So, wonderful pipe. Highly recommend you pick one of these up if you can find one. I don't know if Tim sells anything online or not, but he jhlow.com is his website, and he's at the Columbus show, maybe other shows, and terribly nice fellow. So highly recommend you get one of these if you can. The tobacco I'm going to be putting into this, set it down for a minute so you can understand me, is the tobacco of the month chosen by you, the Friday Night live stream viewers. Shandygaff. And as you can see, I opened this 2 weeks ago. It was filled to the brim, and I've been enjoying Shandygaff. This is from 2015, so it's 10-year-old Shandygaff. Cornell and Deal blend. And I'll tell you some more about it, including a little bit of the history, which is kind of fascinating. You can see it looks like tobacco. It's got some dark bits in there. It's got some light bits in there. And it's a typical Cornell and Deal sort of cut. And I'm going to pack it while I tell you what is in the tobacco. So this is a blend of burley, Turkish, and Perique. And I was a little surprised when I looked this up this morning because I could have sworn there was Virginia in here because of the sweetness. But according to Cornell and Deal, it's just burley, Turkish, and Perique. Now the name Shandygaff, if you don't know, a Shandygaff is an old, actually the original beer cocktail from mid 1800s, I think, maybe early 1800s. And it is a mixture of ginger beer and regular beer. And the term Shandygaff I don't think anybody knows the actual derivation of the word, at least based on a little bit of research I did. I couldn't find it. Um, and I believe one of the dictionary entries said it's the derivation's unknown. But it's where we get the term shandy for things like a summer shandy now. Uh, Anytime you're adding something to the beer, it's considered a shandy, uh, I think. I just made that last part up, but hey, let's believe it. So, this supposedly has flavors reminiscent, and I'm quoting the description from Cornell and Deal now, reminiscent of salty sea air and ginger, thus the connection to a Shandygaff. Uh, I don't quite get that, but I'll tell you the flavors that I do get out of it and why I think people do report and very much believe that it has a salty taste to it and maybe a ginger taste. I think it's partly due to the Turkish. History of this blend is interesting. And as I was researching this, I came upon the book that's in the title card by Christopher Morley, which was titled Shandygaff. Shandygaff is a collection of essays and humorous stories that Morley put together. He wrote and put together. And there's a connection between Morley and Cornell and Deal in the Bob Ranowski named Haunted Bookshop after the Christopher Morley book and all that. And I thought maybe there was a connection there, but it turns out this is an old Atlas blend. Let me get it lit up and I'll tell you more. I got to tell you about this lighter too. So, yeah, it's an old Atlas blend. So in 1990, Craig Tarler purchased Amart Tobacco, which was formerly known as Atlas Tobacco, and in that purchase, he acquired the rights to their blends, and they have a Balkan blend that's an Atlas blend, and Shandygaff is an old Atlas blend. So apparently there was no connection, at least, between Ranowski and the blend. Maybe the Shandygaff was a coincidence. It might have been what Atlas called it. I don't know what Atlas called it. Maybe Craig Tarler just was a fan of Christopher Morley and wanted to throw another one in there. I don't know, but just an interesting connection because Morley does have that connection through Haunted Bookshop. And I've always been fond of Morley. He was also the guy that founded the Baker Street Irregulars, Sherlock Holmes fan group, I guess you could say. Rather illustrious fan group. So, let's get into the tobacco and talk about the flavor a bit. Now, keep in mind, this is 10 years old. And the last time I smoked this was 10 years ago. I am surprised by the sweetness of it. And I'm also surprised by how much I'm enjoying this. And you're gonna see a happy guy smoking this pipe today. I really like this. Now, what I don't know is, will fresh Shandygaff taste like this? I just don't know. Barley's not supposed to age. I disagree with that. I think all tobaccos age. I don't think they change in the way a lot of people think they change. There's no sugar. It's mold. But I don't remember it being this sweet. And I don't know where the sweetness comes from because it's burley, perique, and Turkish. But there is this sour sweetness that I think is the main thing you're going to get when you smoke this. That sourness is coming from the Turkish. There's no question about it. There's perique there. It's very prominent on the retrohale. But it doesn't have that sort of figgy, plummy flavor that perique gives you. There's none of that perique pepperiness on the tongue. It's all retrohale. So the perique is doing something with the burley and the Turkish, and I think that's what's really interesting about this blend. That sourness from the Turkish combined with that sweetness, or something in the burley, is creating both that sweetness and also that almost what I think people are saying is salty, but is really like a sour note. And then the perique is combining with that, and it's creating this I'm not going to say ginger flavor, but ginger-like quality to it. Just the way it feels on your tongue is ginger-like. Um, this is unique. It's really a unique experience. It's just delicious. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm anxious to get some new fresh Shandygaff and compare it because I really do wonder if this is unique because it's 10 years old or if it's just that I 10 years ago didn't appreciate it the way I'm appreciating tobaccos now. So, in terms of, well, I should say this. I looked at tobacco reviews. I look at tobacco reviews for two reasons. I get uh, the description of the tobacco, like what's in it, and I also like to look at the average rating and then maybe just scan through some of the reviews just to look at the number of stars. I don't read them because I don't really want to know what other people thought about it before I decide what I think about it. Now, a blend like this, I might go back and read just because I'm appreciating it and I do want to see if other people are getting the same thing. But prior to doing something like this, I don't read them. But what I noticed, I'm going to put a pipe cleaner in this. This is not the fault of the pipe. What I noticed in the tobacco reviews was, oh, geez, if I can get a pipe cleaner. There we go. By the way, this is I had to remake this video. I forgot to press record. I'm out of practice. So that's the reason this is gurgling. I had to quickly reload it. Well, quickly finish it, empty out the ash, and then reload it. So the tobacco reviews, there's a lot of 1 stars, there's a lot of 5 stars, so people are, it's a polarizing blend, I guess is the point. So in terms of whether or not I would recommend people try this, if you're a non-aromatic smoker, if you're a non-English smoker, I think it's definitely worth a try. It's unique. And by the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't if you're in those other categories, but I'm just saying that the people that are most likely going to enjoy this are people that enjoy burley tobaccos, Virginia tobaccos, without the added condiment. Because this is really a pure tobacco experience. Not that Latakia isn't a pure tobacco, but it kind of dominates things. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at here. So if you like burley or you like Virginia by itself, this is one you should definitely try. But get a small sample. Get a couple ounces and try it because I don't know. It may or may not be to your liking because it is very, very unique. But I am terribly, terribly happy that I opened this jar. And I tried to get it open for months and they just wouldn't pick it. The Friday night viewers just would not pick this one. And I finally complained and said something like, if you don't pick it, I'm going to open it anyway. So they picked it. It does produce copious amounts of thick white smoke, Big Dave. Uh, Big Dave likes his thick white smoke. And it has a really nice mouthfeel, very creamy. Yeah. Get yourself some Shandygaff, but keep in mind this is 10-year-old. Maybe the fresh stuff is different. Maybe wait until I get some fresh stuff and I'll talk about that. This lighter. So my buddy Greg Tunnel. Uh, Greg is Greg's a polarizing guy. I get that. I love the guy. He has his opinions. He's upfront about them. I love people that have the opposite opinions and are upfront about them too. So I'm not saying anything about Greg's opinions, but he's just a darn nice guy, and love every time I get to see him. Usually it's at the Columbus show. We met up once at Boswell's. Just bright, happy, wonderful guy, and we're sitting next to one another at the table, the smoking tent, and we're comparing the tin notes on tobacco, and everything that Greg smokes to me smells like a candy shop or something, or a bakery maybe. And I think it was Ghost Cobb who opened up a tin of tobacco that I had and said that it smelled like fresh manure, and the look on Greg's face was priceless. So we were comparing the barnyard scents of the tobaccos I like to the candy shop scents of his tobaccos. Anyway, several years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, Greg gave me one of these lighters at a pipe show at the Columbus show, and this is an Honor lighter. Hopefully you can see that, or does it say Honest? Whatever it says. Read it yourself. These are on Amazon. They're $14. Soft flame butane. Set of pipe tools coming out the side. This thing is like a tank. I've had it. Butane lighters do not last for me. I cannot keep a butane lighter for more than a year. I've had one upstairs that I use as my backup because I do like the Zippos. I use it as a backup. I've had the one that he gave me is gold, and I've had that 2 or 3 years, and it just works. It's just always there waiting for me. I love these. I had this during the first attempt at this video, and you can see it wouldn't light, but it's barely lighting now. I forgot to put fuel in it this morning. Therefore, I like to keep backups around. My backup in the shop and in my car has been one of these clipper lighters, and these are great. These are wonderful lighters, and they last. They're very solidly built. They are refillable. The problem is, as they, I don't know if it's as the flint gets smaller or something changes in these things, and I can sometimes get them working again by putting in a new flint, stretching the spring a little bit, but for some reason they stop. They spark, but they don't ignite. And I'll have to flick this thing 3, 4 times. Not a big deal, but it is starting to tear up my thumb, something terrible. I don't know if you can see the callus that's there. And it's not just a callus, it hurts. I sound like a little wimp right now, but it gets actually really tender because I use it a lot, right? I smoke when I drive. I smoke when I'm sitting down here in the shop. Sometimes I forget to bring the Zippo down or I don't fill it. So I use this quite often. And I decided that these just were causing too much thumb damage. So I bought myself 2 more of these. This is the different finish, just so I always know which one Greg gave me. And I'm going to keep one down here in the shop. I put one in the car. And yeah, they're just quite a value for $14. I talked so much that went out. So, what's on tap for today? Not a lot. Got to make dinner. Wife's in Pittsburgh. Might do a little bit of work outside. Did some gardening yesterday. Peppers are starting to come in. Getting some more tomatoes. I'd say the garden this year, I don't know, if I had to give it a grade on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd probably give myself about a 75 this year. Greens were incredible. So all the salad lettuces, the kale, the arugula, wonderful. Squash and cucumbers, complete failure. Got huge squash plants, but no squash. Cucumbers died very quickly. I talked about my lawn guy put the wrong stuff on the lawn, and that stuff is right up against the lawn that he treated. So it might be that some of the chemicals come in, and I don't know. We'll try again next year. Tomatoes didn't take we had excessive amounts of rain and we had a lot of heat, and the tomatoes just didn't do great. I'm still getting some cherry tomatoes, a couple of Roma tomatoes, but not what I would have liked. Peppers are starting to pepper. Uh, the rabbits did a job on the peppers this year. So next year I'm going to put a rabbit fence around the pepper plot, like I did around the greens, and we'll try again. So it's been a better year than last year. I think the soil amendments that I did and everything this year really helped, and I'm looking forward to next year being even better. But to celebrate last night, I made a pizza with shishito peppers from the garden, and enjoyed that immensely. So with that, my friends, I'm going to continue to enjoy my Shandygaff, second bowl of the morning, thanks to my inability to press record. And I will let you get on with your day. We will be back. Sorry. We will be back next week, hopefully with something a little more organized than what I did today, because I feel like I rambled quite a bit there in the middle. We'll be back on Friday with another Friday night live stream, 8 p.m. Friday, right here. Subscribe and notification bell and all that stuff so you know when the next live stream's coming. You're supposed to say that, I know. Oh, and thumbs up and comment. Do comment. If you've had Shandygaff, I'd love to hear. If you haven't, you think you're gonna try it. Again, maybe wait until I get some fresh Shandygaff and give that a try. It's up to you. You're allowed to choose your own tobacco. Okay. Before this descends into complete insanity, I'm going to head off and have the rest of my Sunday. Hope you enjoy your Sunday and are looking forward to a great week ahead. And until we speak again, I'll look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.